Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coin Lady channel. John Deaton, a solicitor for Channel, claims that his client, Ripple, owes them money even though they're currently sitting in the family sedan belonging to Man on the Moon. And he's absolutely right. I want you to know that I appreciate Ripple very much. They're the most well-known company I'm aware of that is developing applications on top of the XRP ledger. It's safe to say that whatever they've built on top of the XRP ledger is the most well-known, and successful one. They do more than any other single person to promote the XRP ecosystem. Yes, I firmly believe that to be true even now. As such, I don't mean to detract from any of that, but I do want to explain why I agree with lawyer John Deaton that Ripple owes us more than we owe them. I'm glad he said it when he did because I've been giving it a lot of thought for the past few days, and I have some ideas I'd like to share with you to elaborate on this because, frankly, I don't think that speculators in the crypto space in general get the credit that they deserve. That's a crucial step that has to be taken before anything else can move forward. Then I was given some extra materials. I need to do some transcription right now. A video clip from Gensler in 2018 has been shared and discussed by attorney John Deaton. In addition, he acquired new materials. However, it is important to note that I come from neither a legal nor a financial background. Do not buy or sell anything based on anything I say or write. I'm not a licensed solicitor or financial advisor. For fun and as a hobby, I enjoy making videos about crypto-related topics to share on YouTube. Okay, then. So, the folks over at the crypto-focused Twitter account XRP News decided to throw up a quick screen cap. It looks like a miniature infographic. Brad Garlinghouse is included in that weird group. Wow, what an odd moment to freeze on. Definitely not the best option. In any case, the figure of $755 million in merely 4 seconds is clearly displayed. Cryptocurrency banks appear to be reaping the benefits of Ripple's XRP, despite some skepticism from the cryptocurrency community. In a reported 4 seconds and at a cost of only $0.1 now, $755 million worth of XRP was transferred. For those who have been paying attention for the past decade, this has been common knowledge. However, this is the first practical application of these advantages, and it is the most significant one, frankly, outside of using crypto as money. Ripple is taking advantage of this to promote XRP as a bridge currency, which is the next most obvious advantage of cryptocurrency. Solicitor John Deaton retweeted it, adding, "Imagine Ripple going to a bank or money transmitter like MoneyGram or Western Union, and saying, I know that you charge 9 to 15% for people to send money internationally. Using our technology, we can avoid paying the high-friction fees you are using and complete the transaction for much less than a penny." You're used to hearing me say things like, it's funny that this came out when he did because literally yesterday might have been my very last video, whenever that was. I was just discussing this very issue with someone recently. I also mentioned that large banks are not Ripple's best potential customers because smaller banks pay large banks to use their liquidity for international transactions. You don't have a slew of deposit accounts in different countries all over the world because you don't have the kind of money that can be deposited in small and medium-sized banks all over the world. So, you fork over cash to your larger rivals so that you can offer cross-border transaction services to your clientele. This helps your major rivals in particular. Therefore, it's a no-brainer for a local bank to do so. Honestly, why wouldn't I want to go with the less expensive option? If you are a wealthy banker, you might counter with something like, "But this is a profit center for me, right?" That's why it makes perfect sense. XRP holders, which include users, investors, developers, and small businesses, helped create the XRP ecosystem, attorney Deaton added, while Ripple worked to make a legacy system that had been built on frictionless technology for half a century. Overall, we owe Ripple more than we owe them. So, yes, that is undeniably correct. And I'll tell you why I think that way. These are just my current thoughts, and I'm not changing them. I'm not imagining what John Deaton would say. If he wants to, he can explain why he thinks that is the case. I'll explain why I think that is the case. As someone who has been involved in the cryptocurrency market for well over half a decade, this is something I've given a lot of thought to over the past few days. I've noticed that speculators are routinely losing money in this market. And yes, I enjoy making fun of them because they are like little lemmings and behave in the most ridiculous and irrational ways possible. That's why I'm going to keep making jokes about it. They may be useless, but the service they provide is priceless. Speculation is what allows you to build upon it, so please believe me when I say that without it, you wouldn't have much to work with. The speculators have to do their thing first if you want an asset with real-world value. Be disorderly, irrational, enter price discovery occasionally, all that, and still maintain your self-assurance and composure. Furthermore, not all investors who speculate are dolts. Just buying and holding, basically. I just don't act like the rest of the dummies. Even if you switch positions more frequently than I do, that doesn't mean you're an emotional seller. Maybe some of you can relate. It's not like doing so would be wrong. It's all going my way. You're the boss now. Yes, that's perfectly acceptable. Any asset, anywhere in the world included, has a price on the open market, but that's not the point. The point is that we're all here, doing what we're doing, and that's why there is a price. The reason for this is speculation. Without that, everything else would be impossible. Building something that requires decentralization and an open market is impossible if you want to charge for it. As a result, speculators take the brunt of the criticism. True, most people fall into that category. The vast majority of people are not going to become business owners or programmers. And you should stop talking trash about them because they don't know all the technical details behind everything. You'll never understand how ridiculous that is. Not everyone is born with an entrepreneurial spirit, or is placed in a life where doing so makes sense, or even has a particularly brilliant idea for a crypto-related venture. I'm saying stop being such a jerk to people who find themselves in that predicament. All these people you're dismissing are the ones who make it possible for you to do what you're doing out there. People who are willing to speculate and take risks on your behalf make it possible for you to build what you are building. And it's just that I never hear anyone say it. So, I needed to vent for a second about something that has been bothering me. You and I, both, are actors in a much larger production. If you work in cryptography, you are essential to this process. When comparing the percentages of people who are speculators, entrepreneurs, and developers, the speculators make up the largest segment of the pie. We are not less valuable simply because there are so many more of us. We're pivotal because all the rest depend on us. Without us, it's impossible to create anything that, uses a decentralized cryptocurrency and has an open market price. That stage is skipped entirely. Yes, a developer must first construct it. However, after that, speculators are required if you plan on constructing anything further out. In this sense, yes, Ripple is appreciated. And, I believe they value the XRP community very highly. I believe they have proven that. In any case, Ripple is, in my opinion, the biggest and most important individual player in the ecosystem, and I applaud their efforts. They would be unable to accomplish their goals without our help. This is correct. Without cash flow, that option would be unavailable. A free market cannot exist there. There is no way to put a monetary value on XRP. Speculators, in my opinion, deserve much greater recognition and praise than they currently receive. That's just my style, man. Then we received this from John Deaton, a solicitor. This video is available. Linides, a member of the online community, shared the video. It was the 2018 version of Gary Gensler. And John Deaton wrote, the Nasdaq has announced that it will begin to custody Bitcoin by the end of June. Hear Gary Gensler's thoughts before he headed the SEC. He defends the established company's right to enter the market and notes that unregulated exchanges are outperforming them. I find this very interesting at the moment. In case you hadn't heard, this is some pretty major news. Nasdaq is, after the New York Stock Exchange, the largest stock exchange in the world. They plan to implement crypto custodial services by the end of the second quarter. That means they'll be moved in by the end of June. At least, that's what the announcements have said. This is for commercial-grade equipment only. That's how I see it working out right now. That's enormous because just 1%, 2%, or 3% of previously untapped institutional funding is huge. That's a major deal. So, we're right back to giving priority to the current residents. And that's the idea behind attorney John Deaton's Hey, Tear Down Crypto campaign. Gary Gensler destroying crypto, killing off startups that have been in the industry for 3, 5, 10 years, or however long it takes. In this scenario, the incumbents can take over by destroying the first movers, some of which are still in the startup phase. Attorney John Deaton has proposed this as a possible explanation, and upon first glance, it seems plausible. So, I transcribed the audio and will present it to you. I should clarify that Gary Gensler was using the term incumbent to refer to participants in legacy finance, which is what he meant until he accidentally used it in a different context. At the video's conclusion, it can be seen clearly. Also, he uses the term to describe startups, but he actually means to talk about new ventures in the blockchain and cryptocurrency industries. So I'll just read it exactly how he said it. In case the last few seconds of that clip sound muddled, it's because he chose the wrong word. However, I will interpret it as he said it. First, I'd like to make that clear. So, I transcribed it and here it is. I have faith. Oh, no. The host made the following remarks. What the host had to say: many of these items are technically classified as securities. Does that put a damper on the blockchain industry as a whole? So you mean separate pieces of cryptocurrency? I think it's a net positive, as Gary Gensler puts it. There is a great deal of ups and downs in our economic and private lives. So, it could dampen the ICO market's enthusiasm. Blockchain technology, however, benefits from this. Right now, we have large institutions eager to significantly adopt and adapt, asset managers eager to invest in the sector, and large exchange companies eager to enter the sector. Currently, I believe that the unregulated exchanges collectively generate more revenue and profits than the aggregate regulated markets in the securities industry around the world. Therefore, they are eager to enter the area. At this time, established businesses are losing money to new ventures. And while you might think that's great, it's happening in part because the incumbents aren't treating their customers the way you'd like them to be treated. So, there you have it. This is merely a preliminary sign. Before Gary Gensler became SEC chair to protect the status quo, this was the case. This concept, then, shouldn't come as much of a shock. What we're witnessing right now doesn't shock me in the least. In other words, cryptography is here to stay. Those who took the plunge into crypto at the outset, the entrepreneurs who built things, are now under attack from Kim Jong-un, which is terrible news. Despicable. No, I don't give out financial advice. Nothing I say or write should be used as a basis for making financial decisions. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.